Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. A lot of black people on social media are expressing their outrage because they heard that rappers Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Snoop Dogg went to the inaugural ball for President Trump. Now, many of these black folks on social media are extremely upset and are going out here and saying that rappers Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Snoop Dogg are sellouts for going to the inaugural ball where to see President Trump and perform at that inaugural ball. However, many of these people show how ignorant they are regarding the subtle politics transpiring around them. Because when it came to these rappers Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Snoop Dogg, they didn't sell out by going to the inauguration of President Trump. No, they sold out a long time ago when they signed their record contracts. Now, what many people want to go out here and do is buy into the narratives that the A&R people made regarding entertainers such as Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Snoop Dogg, which presents them as street guys who are gangster rappers. And because people buy into the stories that the A&R people created, they're thinking that these entertainers are keeping it real as they're going out here participating in all sorts of street behavior. But what these people don't understand is that that's a carefully crafted image made up by the A&R people, the PR people, and all of the people who go out here and create the image for that entertainer. And when it comes to these rappers, they basically are not what you believe that they are. No, when it comes to these rappers, again, their job is to go out here and do whatever their paymasters tell them in the media arm of white supremacy, and go out here and follow whatever orders that are given to them. And what happens with a lot of black people is that they don't understand that when it comes to these gangster rappers, these guys basically are the original sellouts. And again, the original sellouts ever since the days of 1988, when Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E and many and Yella formed the NWA, because the goal of the gangster rapper was to go out here and hijack the narrative of rap music, taking it away from the narrative of creating a positive message using rhythm and poetry to making it something that fits the media arm of white supremacy and the narratives it wants to see regarding black people. And when it comes to these gangster rappers like your Nellys, your Rick Rosses, your Soulja Boys, and your Snoop Doggs, basically these guys have been bootlicking ever since the 1990s and the 2000s, but because the media arm of white supremacy created a narrative around these guys to make it look like they were so real, many people bought into those narratives, and as they bought into those narratives, they thought that these entertainers were down with them, but they were never down with black people. No, they were always down with the media arm of white supremacy, because the media arm of white supremacy is where most of these guys got their money from. Most of these rappers basically are property of these record labels, and this is how they get paid. So these guys, again, they don't have any political alliance as related to red or blue. No, they are basically agents of the media arm of white supremacy and do whatever their paymasters want them to do. And that's where a lot of black people get it twisted, because they get polarized along political lines, and as they get polarized on political lines, you have folks getting out here selectively outraged regarding these rappers like Nelly, Rick Ross, and Soulja Boy, and Snoop Dogg going out here and performing at the Trump inauguration. However, many of these same black folks basically didn't have any sort of outrage when Megan Thee Stallion went out here and did a rally for Kamala Harris. And sadly, what happened with a lot of black folks is that it shows how a lot of us just don't understand the subtle politics transpiring around us, and how we don't see how we're seeing that it's two wings on the same dirty bird as related to the media arm of white supremacy, or two parts of the same arm of the media arm of white supremacy. And both parts of those arms are a part of the fist that's meant to hit us in the face if we invest in their whole entertainment industry, because these entertainers, again, are not about empowering us, but about entertaining those who are a part of the media arm of white supremacy. And that's why these entertainers can go out here and go to an inauguration of President Trump, someone who we in the black community were told is supposed to be an enemy of black people. But these same black people had no outrage whatsoever when Megan Thee Stallion was out here supporting Kamala Harris, and many other black celebrities were supporting Kamala Harris. No, many of us just could not see the big picture regarding the media arm of white supremacy and how it controls these entertainers, because the media arm of white supremacy, again, is the one that basically dictates everything to these entertainers about what they do, where they go, and how they do things. So whenever you're seeing these entertainers, again, you can't really get outraged, because, again, both white supremacy is controlling both sides of the argument, and controlling both sides of the narrative, and controlling both of the paychecks of those on the left and the right. So when it comes to these black entertainers, they are not about us. They are not about black empowerment. No, when it comes to these black entertainers, like your Nellys, your Rick Rosses, your Soulja Boys, your Snoop Doggs, again, they are not about black empowerment. And that's why you can't go out here and invest your emotions in Hollywood, because many of these entertainers are basically yes men for whatever executives who basically have control over their contracts. And that should have been shown to people when Ice Cube came out here with his contract with Black America, hoping to subvert the actions of all of us in new black media to focus on developing a black agenda. What Ice Cube wanted to do was use his celebrity status to go out here and be able to spellbind the black masses. And as he spellbound the black masses, he got us basically caught up in a contract with Black America that we never made an agreement for. And a lot of us got mesmerized by this man's celebrity and his money. I saw that firsthand in 2020 when I tried to warn many of the brothers and sisters out here about Ice Cube and how he was basically looking to hijack our agenda of new black media to fit and get us to follow his agenda, and how this man was looking to get in front of all of us as we were building momentum, because what he was basically looking to do was, again, get control over our platform and basically make himself a de facto leader because he was a celebrity. And back in 2020, people went out here and vigorously attacked me to the point where I had to take down the videos because people just weren't ready for that message. And sadly, it took about 4 years for people to figure out Ice Cube wasn't on our side until he started standing at the side of Tucker Carlson and started speaking against our issues. That's what sadly happened to a lot of black folks. They started realizing that Ice Cube was nothing more than a bootlick. But I knew that he was a bootlick way back in the 1990s, because as someone who understood the entertainment industry, I understood that this guy sold out way back in 1988. And as he sold out, he put up an image to make it look like he was real. But what he was really about was going out here and doing whatever his white supremacist paymasters told him to do. And when it comes to many of these entertainers basically, again, are nothing more than bootlicks and shills doing whatever their white supremacist paymasters tell them to do. And that's why it wasn't a surprise to me when I heard that all of these rappers were attending the Trump inauguration celebration and performing at the Trump inauguration celebration, because these guys basically got the go-ahead from their paymasters in Hollywood to go attend that event, and they wouldn't be at that event if it wasn't for their people who at the record labels and the executives giving them the go-ahead and the green light to do so. Because nothing in Hollywood is done without approval from many of those executives who control many of these entertainers. And many of these entertainers, again, do not go out here and do anything unless their bosses tell them to do it. That's the secret that many black people don't know and don't really want to understand. Many of your entertainers, again, don't have free will to go out here and do whatever they please. No, when it comes to many of the entertainers out here, they basically, again, are property of the studios, property of the media companies, property of these businesses, and again, property just like a slave. And again, they are property because if they don't do what their bosses tell them to do, then they're not going to be able to get booked for gigs and booked for work. That's the thing that many people in the black community don't understand about many of your favorite entertainers. Many of your favorite entertainers are basically, again, people just on contract. And again, if they want to get booked gigs and if they want to be able to make money, they've got to play by the rules of white supremacy. And even though bootlick is a job without a retirement plan, these guys will bootlick as related to getting these jobs because they basically, again, get their daily bread from white supremacy. And this is why you just can't trust celebrities. And this is something many black people don't understand. Again, these guys didn't sell out when they went to attend this whole event. No, they sold out years ago when they signed the contracts for the record label. They basically named their price, and as they named their price and they made their compromise with white supremacy, they basically went out and here and became slaves to the system of the entertainment industry. So that's where a lot of people in the black community and black people on social media get it twisted. They get it twisted because they're thinking, oh, these entertainers are out here, they're being real. No, they were never real at all. They were manufactured images of what many white executives wanted them to be. They are manufactured images of what a white person wants to see regarding black people. And that's why you can't really trust many of these entertainers, because they don't work for us. No, they work for Team White Supremacy. And that's why I can just look at this whole, again, outrage as related to things and see how a lot of black folks, again, don't understand the subtle politics transpiring around them. And many others are basically hypocrites because, again, where was that outrage when Megan Thee Stallion was performing for Kamala Harris and many other black celebrities were out here endorsing Kamala Harris? Again, endorsing Kamala Harris as related to what their paymasters told them to do. There was none of those folks on the left out in the black community outraged. But what black people need to understand is that neither side is for you. No, neither side is about you. And these entertainers, basically, we know that they're bootlicks. We know that they do whatever their paymasters tell them to do. So we shouldn't be getting upset. No, we should be focused on our plans as related to developing a black agenda to get tangibles for ourselves, and focused on developing a black agenda that will, again, get tangibles as related to our vote. and also focused on developing that agenda to pick our own candidates, and endorse our own candidates, because we can't really focus on these entertainers. Again, the minute that entertainer signed a contract, they were no longer a free person. They were basically someone who was under the control of the media arm of white supremacy, and they're going to go wherever the money is, because again, you had Snoop Dogg, who spoke against Trump in his first term 8 years ago, and now is at performing for Donald Trump. And with these other rappers, they're again seeing their careers basically fading into obscurity. Nelly is 50 years old, and many of these other guys are in their 40s, so they're basically looking to get whatever crumbs from the master's table they can get. And that's par for the course with these entertainers, who again are looking at themselves as bootlicks and hoping to get some crumbs from the master's table before they yank the rug out from under them. Because like Professor Black Truth has said, bootlick is a job without a retirement plan, and many of these washed up rappers basically are looking to again scavenge a little change before they wind up fading into obscurity once and for all. Now, if you want to check out my screenplay book, which shows you what happens to black performers in Hollywood when white supremacy no longer needs them, you can check out my screenplay book all about Maryland on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to check out my TV series that I wrote before I walked away from the whole idea of working in Hollywood, all about Nikki the Fabulous first season, you can check out those 13 episodes on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find those episodes on other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos taking celebrities and the entertainment industry to the barbecue, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.